Alrighty, looks like we've got an SOL coming up in Algebra 2. Ooh, it's the scariest one coming up. I'm sure you're all quivering with fear. Right now we're going to make it a bit easier with you. We're going over inverse and composite functions real quick as a brief review, because I'm sure your teachers did a wonderful job. Alright, so here's the textbook definition of an inverse function. The relation formed when the independent variable is exchanged with the dependent variable in a given relation. It sounds very scientific, but we'll break it down later on. Don't get afraid yet. Alright, so in an inverse function, the graph is symmetric across the line y equals x, the function and the inverse. And the inverse of f is a function only if the original function is a one-to-one function. So here's a practice problem for you, where we're going to test out that theory of the y equals x line. The graph of the function g is shown on the following grid. Which of the following graphs best represents the inverse of g? Now if you look at the original graph, you're going to trace out the line y equals x, which cuts through the origin, has the slope of 1, should be fairly simple for you. Now compare to your answer choices which of the following generally best corresponds what the original function would look like if it was reflected across that line. You can rule out answer choices A and B and C all immediately because they're all the completely wrong directions, leaving you with answer choice D as the proper one. Alright. Inverse functions don't just come in the form of graphs, you get them in equations too. Isn't that fantastic? I'm assuming you're saying yes right now. Alright, which function is the inverse of f of x is equal to 8x plus 3? It's pretty simple to solve inverses as long as you don't panic. Panicking is bad. Alright, so first step, swap out a y for f of x, which will give you y equals 8x plus 3. Now, you've got to swap out the y and the x. X is equal to 8y plus 3. Next up, you want to isolate the y. So you subtract 3 from both sides, which gives you x minus 3 is equal to 8y. Final step is to divide both sides by 8, giving you x minus 3 divided by 8 is equal to y. Not that bad, right? Alright, now we're going to go back to the original question and look at the answer choices to try and match it up. Answer choice A, x minus 3 divided by 8. That's going to be the one. Check the other answer choices to make sure you're not insane, and we are correct. Answer choice A. Alright, now moving on to composite functions. Definition for this textbook: composition of functions is the process of combining two functions where one function is performed first and the result of which is substituted in place of each x in the other function. Sounds convoluted right now, super simple once we get to it, don't fret. Alright, if f of x is equal to x squared plus 1 and g of x is equal to 2x plus 3, which polynomial is equivalent to the g of f of x? Now when you're working this out, it's imperative that you look at which function is going into the other one. Alright, so in this one, we are looking at g of f of x. This means that you're going to start out with g of x as your equation that you're plugging f of x into. Alright, so we're going to take g of f of x. And this gives you 2 times the quantity x squared plus 1 plus 3. distribute the 2, giving you 2x squared plus 2 plus 3. Combine the like terms, giving you 2x squared plus 5. Should be your final answer. You're looking at the answers. Answer choice A is 2x squared plus 5. Alright, now it's not all just sunshine and daisies. The SOL has some technology enhanced questions, which means they're not all going to be multiple choice. Don't worry about that. As long as you know the basic concepts behind each of the problems, you will do spectacularly. So we're going to look at some examples that don't have any multiple choice for you to choose from. Alright, this is the moment where you should pause this video and work this out on your own. Like right now. I am going to keep talking now. Alright, so f of x equals the square root of x and g of x equals x squared plus 22. What is the polynomial equivalent of g of f of x? So, we are looking to find g of f of x. Very important that you remember this. Double check your work always. It is better safe than sorry. Too many kids have failed because they haven't gotten that right. So we're plugging in the square root of x into the equation x squared plus 22, which means you have the square root of x raised to the power 2 plus 22. Now, the square root and the power of 2 cancel each other out, which gives you x plus 22. Nice and simple one there. Could get tricky if you got the order reversed. Alrighty, next question. What is the inverse of the function f of x is equal to 4/3 x plus 5? This is another moment where you should pause, work this out. This is your preparation for the SOL. Alrighty, we're going to keep going now. Alright. What is the inverse of the function f of x is equal to 4/3 x plus 5? So first off, you swap out a y for the f of x, make it a lot easier on yourself. You'll get y is equal to 4/3 of x plus 5. Next, swap the x and the y, so you'll get x is equal to 4/3 y plus 5. We're looking to isolate the y here, so you'll subtract 5 from both sides, giving you x minus 5 is equal to 4/3 y. Multiply by the reciprocal 4/3, which is 3/4. You'll get 3x minus 15, all divided by 4, is equal to y. And there's your answer. Alright, thanks for bearing with us. Hopefully you've learned something, brushed up on your skills again. You're gonna rock that SOL. Good luck, have fun.